Hey guys, how's it going? I wanted to show off a couple really simple redstone devices in preparation for the next video that I'm going to release. So in this one, I'm going to go over smart pistons and cobblestone generation. I'm also going to show you how to make a keycard system using redstone. So let's get into it. These three contraptions right here are smart pistons. So this is the simplest version. All it takes is a piston, two redstone dust, and a redstone torch. So what a smart piston is when a block is pushed in front of it or placed in front of it, it will push that block forward. This lets you essentially have hands-free piston activation. So there's a few different ways you can do it. There's tons of different ways you can do it, but I'm just going to show you three that I use that work really well for me. I'm sure that there are faster ways or better ways, but I'm still a bit of a redstone noob. I'm learning as I go and just wanted to try and show off how to make these redstone contraptions in a way that hopefully people can actually learn basics of them and use them in their own builds. So another version of a smart piston is this contraption. Works exactly the same, just a little bit slower. So, redstone torch powers a block. This block powers a piston, a sticky piston rather, that has a redstone block attached to its face. When a block is placed in front, the piston is extended and the redstone block powers this line, which returns into the back of the piston. So it is slower because you're limited by how fast this piston can actually fire and retract. But one of the main reasons that I like this type of smart piston is because I'm free to build around it. I can place blocks around the sides and it fits into some tricky areas a little bit better than other smart pistons. The last smart piston that I'm going to show you is a vertical smart piston. So normally it can be a little bit difficult to make a smart piston vertical just because all of the ones I've seen rely on having a redstone torch powering a block that's above it. And redstone torches will only power a block that's above it without you using a repeater or redstone dust. So this is the system I devised to get around that. So I have a block here that's sitting above a redstone torch. This means this block is always powered, and I'm pulling a signal out of it using a redstone repeater. This is just going into an air block, and this is where our blocks will either be placed on top of the piston face or pushed into the piston face. When a block is placed here, the signal from this repeater is able to travel through the block, and another repeater is able to detect that signal and carry forward. This then powers a block with a piece of redstone dust underneath of it, which powers the concrete block right here, powering the piston and pushing the block out of the way. Essentially, this is just creating a circuit where a block completes the circuit, and as soon as the circuit is complete, it will break itself by pushing that block away. So it's essentially, you can think of it like those useless machines you see on YouTube all the time. The ones that you flick a lever and it just flicks itself off. You are completing a circuit and the piston is breaking the circuit, allowing you to complete it and break it all over again. And that's the same principle that all of these essentially use. When I place a block here, it completes a circuit. And then the piston breaks that circuit. So smart pistons can be used all over the place, but one of my favorite places to use them is in cobblestone generators. So cobblestone is generated when flowing lava is touched by water. So what I have here is the lava source block that flows and makes contact with this waterlogged stair block. And when the lava flows and touches the stairs, it will then be converted into concrete, or into cobblestone, which tells a piston to push it forward using one of the smart pistons from earlier, this design right here. So if I remove this obsidian and let the piston extend, we can see it working. There's a redstone torch down here that carries the signal into the sticky piston, which then fires, powering the piston. And this will just produce cobblestone infinitely. The reason it stopped is because we reached the piston push limit, which I believe is 12, but I constantly find myself counting it to remind myself all the time. So the reason I use waterlogged stairs is because if you put a source block here, water actually flows faster than lava and will touch the lava before the lava touches the water. And when water touches a lava source block, it turns to obsidian. So instead of having cobblestone generated in the middle, we would just have our lava turn to obsidian and it wouldn't work. So there's probably a better way to do this, but this works well enough. So why not? So using these really simple principles, I can show you an example of what you can make with them. I've got a door over here because us redstone geeks love our doors. So this works by having a cobblestone generator push cobble towards a smart piston. The smart piston then pushes blocks over one by one until it reaches here. Just gotta fix it because I messed it up earlier. So when the line of cobblestone reaches this block, it carries a signal through, which then powers all three pistons, pushing it up row by row. So to use this really crappy door, you would get rid of all the cobblestone, go inside, and then let the cobblestone slowly close behind you. It's a very crappy door, but it shows the mechanics of what I'm trying to say a little bit easier. So no, don't ever build this door in your survival world. It's completely useless, but it is neat and it shows you kind of what I'm going for. Upon making this door, I realized I wanted this to be faster. If this created cobblestone really fast, it would be essentially impossible to get through. So what I did was I took two cobblestone generators and fed a line going straight upwards and a line going straight downwards that meet in the middle. Really, I should have taken this cobblestone generator and just placed it at the top so I wouldn't have to have this many corners, because at each of these corners there's another smart piston. I could have made life much easier for myself, but you can see how much faster this system is. It's almost fast enough to the point that you couldn't get through it when you're just using a pickaxe that doesn't have haste or efficiency. Even with efficiency, it would be tough. But anyway, why are you not working? I'll fix that later. Anyway, I wanted this to be faster. So the way that I found it to be faster is if I pushed a third line of cobble into this block. So essentially this block now would have two blocks trying to fill that space whenever one is removed, and it fills very quickly. This leaves a one by one gap that would be very difficult to get through without elytra and rockets, or it would be almost impossible to get through on controller. I can tell you that much. I've tried plenty of times. Just isn't happening. Again, I'm not sure why this block isn't filling. I'll go through later and figure out why that is, but this is the first time I've seen it where it didn't push forward. So it is very reliable. It does work. Another use for smart pistons that you could do is in concrete conversion. So you would sit here and place your concrete powder on this block. It gets pushed forward, pushed into a row, and then one smart piston powers all of them, pushing them forward underneath a water source block, and you would get converted concrete as an output. Hook this up to a wither cage or a gassed fireball gun thing, and you would then have all the blocks that are broken by the explosion, because in Bedrock Edition, TNT explosions do not guarantee all these blocks to drop if they were to be destroyed. But wither cages, wither explosions, and gassed fireballs do guarantee. So that's another use for a smart piston. Little low on time here, so I will save the keycard filtration for the next video. It will be up today as well. I just needed to split these up because I am having to record them in one take without editing due to some limitations that I have. But yeah, I hope you'll tune into the next episode. It's going to be really neat. I'm going to show off this wacky contraption, which is the keycard system, and this thing, and explain a bit about what it is and how it works. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.